Hi everybody! In this latest installment, we are going to add an enemy to our game. And to do this, we're going to use an AI controller. And we're going to do it specifically using C++. So to do this, we're going to first need to add a new class, a new C++ class. So go to Tools, New C++ Class. We're not going to be on Common Classes. We're going to click over on All Classes. And then we're going to type in AI Controller. And so you're going to see we're going to use the AI controller. And what this is basically the brains behind our AI. Like a character is basically two parts, right? It's the body and the mesh and the brains that control it. And so this is going to be the brains that controls our enemy player. So we're going to click next. We're going to name it. We're going to name it our project name, which is P2Gen. And we're also going to add in the AI enemy controller. It's always good to have a good name that you could understand what all the different parts of it that you're doing. So we're going to hit create. When it opens up in Visual Studios, you could tell we have both our AI enemy controller header file and our implementation file. You notice they do look different than the other ones that we've had. We have a lot less in here, right? So it just means we're going to need to be adding our own stuff. And I think it's because by default, it doesn't need all the different parts that some of the other classes that we've made needed. Just like in our other videos, we're going to be adding a couple classes up here. So what we're going to need to do is come in here. And the two classes that we're going to add is class AIPerceptionComponent and class UAISenseConfig site. And these are just two of the classes that we're going to be using to be able to have the brains of our enemy actually work. And then we're going to need to add a couple variables and functions to our list. And so these are going to be public. They need to be public so that Unreal's Reflector can have them. So it's property visibility anywhere, and blueprint read only, and category AI. And we're going to need two of these lines, so I'm just going to do copy and paste them, and then I'm going to put this one, so they're going to both be a T object pointer, and this one is going to be this UI perception component, and we're going to call it AI perception. And then this one's going to be the other one, the UI sense config site. So T object pointer. Tries to be too smart. And we're going to call this site config. So just two pointers that are pointing to these objects that we're going to be making of the AI perception and the AI sense config. So just information we need to be able to eventually make our enemy player work. And then we're going to need another couple functions. So you're going to recognize this one, the protected. We need a virtual void begin play override, and a private U function. This one is going to need to be accessed by Unreal, and it is our void on, and I did it again, capital void on target perception updated, and And this is a actor class, right? Actor, and this kind of weird word, FAI, stimulus. Stimulus. And basically, from my understanding, what this is the sensing thing that figures out like that the player needs to figure out if the enemy's there, and the enemy needs to see so that it can tell where the player is at. So we're gonna save all, and then we're gonna need these two functions. We're gonna need stumps of them to actually compile our code. And so I'm just gonna come over here and add these to our implementation file. And we want to get rid of some of these other keywords that we don't need, and change the semicolons into curly braces. Right, so these are functions that are going to be running, and what a stump is just saying that, like, oh, I need this function to exist for my code to compile, but right now it's not doing anything. And we need to actually have this work. These are classes, so we need to come get the class that this is, right? And it is this name is the name of the class. And it's one of those things with Unreal, it's not like a name that we would think it would necessarily be, because it needs that A at the beginning. So we can copy this, right? And we can paste it in front of both of these. And it's basically saying, this is saying, go look in this class for this function, begin play. And it's the same with this one. Go look in this class for this function, on target, perception updated. I like copying things over because then hopefully I don't have the typos that I usually do. All right, and so you can see there's like a little red squiggly, and that's because I haven't included those classes. So I'm going to copy these classes and add them here. Oh, actually, no, we want not the classes. We want to actually include the actual header files for this. We don't need the header files in the header document because all we're doing is that one part. But here we might have more information, so we might need to have the full header file. So we want the full header files, which is perception, AI perception, component .h, and pound include perception AI sense config underscore site .h. And you can see my little red squiggly went away. We're going to hit save all. And now we're going to go over to our Unreal Engine and try another compile and see if this one works, or if I have any typos in my things. And look at that, it compiled with no problems. Yay me. If you have errors in your code, just try to read through them. And the reason why I compile early and often is because it is easy to have typos and stuff. And so being able to check this incrementally is always better than trying to debug everything all at once. So in the next video, we will work on adding the code we need for our enemy in the implementation file. See you in the next video.